You just sneezed and flew 10 feet in the air.
Really? It fell higher than that. You're an airbender.
Sure am.
Giant light beams, flying bison, airbenders. I think I got midnight sun madness. I'm going home to where stuff makes sense.
February 21st, 2005. A young boy sits on a couch with his dad to see a new show coming out on Nickelodeon. Being so young, he had no idea what to watch or play, or much of anything really. All he did was take in what his parents showed him. Today, his dad was showing him a new show, Avatar: The Last Airbender. He didn't know what an avatar was. He didn't understand why this wasn't SpongeBob, and he barely knew how to read or write. But none of that mattered as soon as he heard the iconic first words. What came after was 3 years of some of the best television of all time. Avatar: The Last Airbender was one of those shows that, for me, had always been on somehow. Early mornings before school, late night on weekends, whenever I needed something to watch, Avatar was there. And so, 15 years after its premiere, I still think about it. Of course, the recent revival the show has seen thanks to its addition to the Netflix library is common knowledge, but I cannot overstate how important this show has been to me. So you have to forgive my bouts of praise and borderline fanboying. For 15 years, Avatar has been my comfort food. For 15 years, it has replenished my zeal and motivation for life after real life had torn me down. I wouldn't be who I am now if it wasn't for this beautiful show, its beautiful characters, and its beautiful spirit. Of course, I'm not the only one who feels this way. So many others have had their own memories and stories of growing up with Avatar and how it shaped them. So this only begs the question, how does a single show, a children's cartoon, from 2005, still remain relevant? The answer is simple. Simplicity. This show, for all its intricacies and multi-layered characters, is a simple show. A boy with immense power must defeat a terrifying villain to end a century of war and restore balance to the world. It's this very simplicity that makes this show excel, not because it's simple, but because this simplicity facilitates far deeper concepts. Unlike some other forms of media, Avatar doesn't cling to its plot as the end-all be-all for each episode. Nearly every episode is central to the progression of the story, but most are more concerned with other things. Whether it be a lesson or a character, Aaron Ehasz and his writing team strike a perfect balance of story progression without sacrificing crucial character building moments. This allows the show to not only be a multi-season epic, but also an easily watchable episodic adventure. There is only one goal and one restriction: learn all 4 elements and defeat the Fire Lord by the end of the summer, which turns the show into a playground of ideas with only a rough roadmap for the writers to follow. Some of the most memorable episodes from the show are ones that completely deviate from the central plot. To illustrate, here's a quick thought exercise. Which scene from the show would you say is the most emotionally moving? Chances are, a good chunk of you said the end of The Tale of Iroh from Season 2's The Tales of Ba Sing Se, an episode which almost completely forsakes the overall plot of the show in exchange for some of the best characterization the show has to offer. Odds are that you liked Iroh before this episode, but after it, you loved him. I did. That's a testament to the masterful writing present in the show. Each character in the show is allowed their own development, ending in a complete arc that teaches lessons about accepting responsibility, overcoming trauma, depending on others, humility and respect, and redemption. None of these arcs are rushed, with each character having fluid rather than linear growth. Aang grows more responsible, but sometimes neglects his duties. Zuko becomes moral, but only after many failures to do so. Sokka learns true humility after many instances of overconfidence biting him in the butt. Toph becomes more vulnerable and dependent, but only after lashing out multiple times. And Katara learns to forgive, but only after resisting for so long. These are not caricatures that are always perfect. These are real, three-dimensional characters that grow and evolve and change over long periods of time like real people do. People are not perfect, and neither are these characters. Even Iroh, championed as one of the most perfect and moral characters, has a cruel and dark past. And one pretty sus scene in Season 1, but we won't talk about that. It's this honesty that the writers put into the characters that make them so relatable. The simplicity of the show also bolsters the dynamics between characters. Avatar takes generic roles and stereotypes and flips them on their head. One of the most obvious examples of this is Toph, the blind bandit who, because of her blindness, is seen by everyone to be helpless and weak, but is in fact one of the most powerful characters in the show. The writers could have stopped here, made her just that, but they went even further. Because of Toph's sheltered life, once free of it, she acts in complete rebellion of it. She is abrasive, rude, and rough, and it stems from her fear of being weak and disregarded by her peers, which in turn conflicts with other characters. Most famously with Katara, whose orderly and motherly instincts clash with Toph's free spirit. Well-written characters lead to dynamics that we as the audience love to see. From Toph and Katara's constant clashing to the famous line on the war balloon, we love to see how characters we've bonded with react to each other.
My first girlfriend turned into the moon. That's rough, buddy.
There is no better example to this than in the last Agni Kai. A deeply character-driven fight, it is, in my opinion, the highlight of the finale and surpasses the emotional importance of Aang vs Ozai. It's not as epic as that fight, and it doesn't need to be. The strength of the conflict between Zuko and Azula completely carries the fight. Zuko, who's at his most realized, and Azula at her very worst. It's an intense culmination of both their arcs that drives our investment into this battle. With Aang and Ozai, we simply see a battle between good and evil that needs to be won. But with Zuko and Azula, you can't help but feel the tragedy of two siblings twisted by war being forced to fight each other to the death. The music shows this difference. Jeremy Zuckerman's score perfectly encapsulates how we should feel. It's slow, deliberate. There's no excitement, only an overwhelming feeling of helplessness. Something that needs to be done, but is heartbreaking to do. It's moments like this, the attention to character over all else, that makes iconic moments like this. There's no convoluted plot, no out-of-character actions, nothing to distract from the masterful storytelling that the showrunners have crafted. And so, all of this just goes to show how crucial simplicity is in contributing to the overall quality of this show. In staying away from overcomplicating the overall narrative, the creative team can freely explore and dive into each character fully, developing them into full-fledged people. People that we care about and identify with. Whether it be the main gang, Iroh, Ty Lee, Jet, Azula, or even Appa. Every character is essential and relatable due to the simplicity surrounding them and the clarity in which they are written. It's done with such attention to detail and such care that nearly everyone can recognize its greatness not only as a show, but as a work of art. Hey guys, thank you for watching this video essay I made on Avatar: The Last Airbender. I really enjoyed making it.
Hey, are you still working on that, man?
Yeah, I am. And yeah, Alan's here. So yeah, we're planning to make a lot more stuff like this. And if you liked it, please subscribe and check out our other stuff. We have a lot of things in the works.
I should make one.
Yeah,
make
you should make one.
Mom.
Oh my. Okay. Well, thank you for watching. I'm gonna go freaking beat the crap out of Alan now. But yeah. Make sure to like and subscribe, and yeah, stay tuned for more. Thank you. Goodbye.